Hey, morning, guys. Just got done running. I did another clip, but it went way too long, so I'm trying to cut down the time with it. Got to get to the point. I was going out jogging today. I'm going to talk about my 4 miles, basically, especially 1 and 4. I hit the main street, and as soon as I hit the main street, this cold wind just hits me. It's 38 degrees. It's drizzling out there. Cars are driving by, and the puddles that are formed in the street kind of hit me as I'm jogging. And it's not even a quarter mile in, and the first thought is like, why am I doing this? Like, why don't I just go home and get this over with? I am not a marathon trainer. I'm not doing this for anything. I just do it because of my health. I don't have to be here right now. You know, it's cold, it's raining, it's windy. My hands are numb, my face, I can't even feel my face. I can just, it's just not a good jog for me. And but I keep going. Why don't I stop? Like, there's a lot of times where I question my Christianity. Like, why don't I? It's just so much easier for me to walk the other way and just not pay attention to God and follow Jesus Christ. I'd probably be married right now. I don't know if I'd be happily married. I don't know what kind of woman I would have, but at least I would have a woman, right? That's what I want, ultimately. There are just so many things. Like, people at my work wouldn't, like, detest me because they know who I am. And I mean a disciple of Jesus Christ by that. I think this world is happier with me being a drug addict than an alcoholic and treating women badly rather than me saying I'm a disciple of Jesus Christ. So things would be better that way. I would actually have more friends, go out to bars, have fun, just drink and dance and meet women and maybe one day at one point meet someone that would be willing to marry me, and that would be it. And I'll go about my life that way. But no, if it were up to me, I would. I would honestly do that. And that's where I thank Jesus for his cross and his dying for my sin. Before he was ascended to heaven, Jesus told his disciples, he said, I'm go to Jerusalem and wait for the counselor. But before he even said that, before the cross, he tells his disciples, he says, it's good for me to go so the counselor can come. What could be better than Jesus? I mean, geez, that's so crazy to me. And Jesus will come, and all knees will bow, and he will be the King of Kings and Lord of Lords in this world. Absolutely. That's the second coming of Jesus Christ. But not only was it not his time then, but he had to send the counselor, Holy Spirit, to us. And that's the reason I didn't stop jogging. And that's the reason I don't stop being a disciple of Jesus Christ. And that's the reason I don't go to bars to look for women, but trust God will one day introduce me to the woman he wants me to be with for the rest of my life. And if he doesn't, well, then God is enough for me. Yesterday, a friend of mine asked me, like, why was my week so great last week? And I said, I'm just full of energy. I'm trying to put God over my need for women. And my friend says, well, that was your thing last year. And I didn't have an answer for him then. But I do right now, and it's simple, and it's good. I'm glad that was my goal a year ago, and that's being my goal today. I do want God to be the first thing in my life. I don't want to depend on me. I don't want to depend on women. I don't want to be codependent on this world. I don't want to people please. I don't want to go back to that person whose self-worth was so bad that he didn't care if he lived or died. He didn't care if he hurt anyone or didn't. Because if he did, they'd probably understand who he was or the pain I was going through. So, the answer to you all is the Holy Spirit. And I don't pray enough to him, and I just started reading this book that with a few friends of mine, We're going to get together once a week and go over this book chapter by chapter, but it's called The Forgotten God. I can't think of who wrote it, but it's so awesome, and it talks about what the Holy Spirit does in my life. Like, I can't take credit for being a Christian because I'm persevering, enduring, because I'm a warrior of Jesus Christ. I'm by far not any of that. I mean, I am, but I'm not. You see, me and my flesh, I'm weak. I would have stayed home in bed, nice and warm. But the reality is, I went out and jogged because the Holy Spirit pushed me. And I'm a Christian today, and I'm a disciple of Jesus Christ. I am an extreme Christian. I am a freak, a Jesus freak, whatever you want to call me. But it's not because of me. It's because the Holy Spirit is in me. And He knows what Jesus Christ did and what it meant for the world, for Jesus to die on the cross. And He knows who God is, God the loving Father who sent Jesus to die. So He's like, I'm not going to give up on you. I'm going to help you overcome these obstacles with energy and enthusiasm. And even though you don't understand it right now, I will show you this. And then I get home, and it's amazing, but I skipped. So the first mile, at some point I even said, God, this was like, I'm going through hell. And I said, oops, sorry, this is definitely not hell. This is just a real painful and difficult situation I'm in this jog. It was almost about mile one, and I was just completely numb, frozen, still wondering what I was doing. Mile two got kind of better because I turned after mile one, and the wind wasn't hitting me head on, and there's buildings blocking the wind. So, and my body temperature kind of got up there. So I did, it was good. I kind of got into the jog. Mile three was even a little bit better. There's a real steep hill, so that really got my blood pumping, and things went well. Then just this great conversation with God, with things going in my head, and praying and just going and being about with God. And then I start thinking, as mile three is almost over, like mile four is going to be a disaster. 3/4 of the mile, I'm back in the wind, back in the the hard drizzle, and back into the part of the cars where there are puddles that form, and I already got wet twice going in my first mile by cars that are just passing by in the first lane, and they just throw all this water at you. So I'm thinking this, and it's going, oh my God, it can't be any worse. And as I'm saying this, I start getting a cramp on my right leg and my knee, and I'm like, well, I'm at a point where I just got to go. I'm not going to go back 3 miles so it can be easier, because it's not going to be easier anyway. So I just got to push through this, 3/4 of the mile that I have left, and that are going to be difficult. And I get to it, and I start going up this small hill right before I turn. And it's not even a 1/4 mile really, and my leg is in pain, and I just say, Holy Spirit, just heal me, get me through this. I thank you for Jesus Christ and the cross, but I need extra help right now. I do. I just don't see myself going through all these. There's too many variables for me to be able to go through with this, and I have no choice. And the more I'm talking to God and just focused on His thing and just praying, and I start thinking of this conversation that I'm having with you right now. And then I veer off the street because there's like a mall, or open mall kind of a thing there. And so I just get in there, and this mall kind of has walls and stuff, so I don't feel the wind in my face, and it's not that bad. And the cars aren't throwing their puddled water at me because I'm like really far away from them, and my leg isn't hurting as much. And then I go around and I make it home, my 4th mile, and I'm just in awe, because what was to me the worst mile wasn't, but it was my turning it to the Holy Spirit, saying, Holy Spirit, just help me through this, to my counselor, to my helper. And things, I mean, I can't say they were like magnificent and I got warm and fuzzy and hula in my life, but I got through it. Like that mile was, to me, like the quickest. I did a 12-minute mile. It was 12:09 because I only can get my heartbeat to 160. And it was good. To me, it was a fast, like 8-minute mile. I was just focused on God, focused on praying to the Holy Spirit and Him helping me. And He did. So if you have the Holy Spirit, the question for you is, if you accepted Jesus Christ and you're a disciple of Jesus Christ and you call yourself a Christian, do you have the Holy Spirit guiding you and showing you the way? Sorry about that. I don't know if you can see that, but battery ran out. So do you have the Holy Spirit showing you the way? If you don't, start praying for the Holy Spirit. And this came out longer. Sorry. Couldn't keep it under 10. Pray to the Holy Spirit. Ask God to show you who the Holy Spirit is. Jesus said, it's good for me to go because I will send the counselor to you. It's good. The Holy Spirit is the one who is to be in our lives right now, giving us energy and giving us purpose. And if you're comfortable at home, instead of going out and being uncomfortable and just putting yourself out there for God, well then, do you have the Holy Spirit? Really, because the Holy Spirit will keep pushing you forward all the time. Doesn't matter what's happening in your life. He's just pushing you to be uncomfortable. For me to get out of the house and be and follow Jesus. To be out there discipling. To be out there listening to people. Sharing my life with them. I'm an isolator. I isolate. I need to be in my house. And if I don't talk to people for a year, I'd be good with it. I did that for 3 months when COVID hit. And I can tell you, I've done it. I've lived eight months without talking to anybody before. And I've been completely happy. But the Holy Spirit pushes me. So is God pushing you? Is the Holy Spirit pushing you? And if not, are you having a relationship with the Holy Spirit? Is He a part of your life? Can you see Him? Because Jesus sent Him to you. Have a great day. Sorry it took 13 minutes. Hope you're blessed by it. Talk soon. Don't forget, God is first.